Have you ever felt like you're just running on a treadmill? You're working harder, you're putting in more hours, but you look at your bank account and it feels like you're not getting anywhere. It's a super common feeling, and honestly, it's because most of us are taught this one single way to think about money, and it's kind of flawed. So what if there was a completely different way? A way to finally get off that treadmill for good? Well, let's dive in and break the whole thing down.
Does this question hit a little close to home? If you feel like the only way to make more money is to just work more hours, you are definitely not alone. This is the big trap, the one that keeps so many people from ever building real, lasting wealth. But what if I told you you're playing a game and you don't even know all the rules? Well, we're going to change that, starting right now.
So, first things first, we've got to understand the trap itself. And this isn't about, not working hard enough. It's about seeing that the basic model we're all taught has a built-in ceiling. There's only so far you can go with it.
Okay, what's wild about this slide is just how simple and, well, brutal it is. This is the math most of us live our lives by. 1 hour of your life, which is, by the way, your most valuable and totally finite asset, gets traded for one little paycheck. And here's the problem, right? You only have 24 hours in a day. You can't make more time, which means your income is, by definition, capped.
And you know what? It gets even worse. Before that paycheck even lands in your account, these invisible forces swoop in and take their cut. So you work hard, you earn $2,000, but after all the taxes, federal, state, Social Security, poof, over $500 just vanishes. The source calls this the cost of civilization, which is fair, but for our purposes, just think of it as the first huge leak in your financial bucket.
So the money that actually makes it into your bank account, it then faces this second, much quieter enemy, inflation. This isn't some big dramatic stock market crash. No, it's a slow, steady leak. Think of it like a silent tax you pay every single day, whether you realize it or not.
And this just shows you exactly what that looks like in the real world. A $20 bill from 20 years ago could get you a cart full of groceries. Today, that same $20 bill gets you, a few basics? It's like buying a big bag of chips, opening it up, and finding it's already half empty. The money looks the same, but it gets you way less. That's inflation right there.
Okay, so we've established that taxes and inflation are actively working against you. It can feel like the whole game is rigged, right? But what if you could learn the rules? That's what this next part is all about. We're going to shift from being a victim of the system to being a player who actually knows how it works.
Most of us think of a bank as this super secure vault where we just store our cash, but that's not the whole story, not even close. In reality, a bank is more like a financial matchmaker. It doesn't just sit on your money, it puts your money to work.
This whole process is called fractional reserve banking. So you deposit $1,000. The bank, by law, only has to keep a small piece of that, maybe $100. And the other 900, well, that gets loaned out to someone else, maybe for a car or a small business or, a jet ski. And the bank charges that person interest, which means it's making a profit from the money you gave them. Now, pay attention to that, because that is the exact principle we're going to learn how to use for ourselves.
And this brings us right to the heart of it, interest. You have to think of interest as a double-edged sword. When you're in debt, credit cards, loans, it's the price you pay. It's that slow burn that's always working against you. But when you're saving or investing, it becomes the reward you earn. It becomes the engine that can actually power your financial growth.
And this, right here, this is the big pivot. This is the aha moment. Once you really get that interest is just rent on money, you can stop just trying to protect your savings, and you can start playing offense. It is time to make your money start working for you, just like the bank does.
The secret weapon here is something called compound interest. Simple interest, that's a one-time payment. It's fine. But compound interest, that's where the magic really happens. See, it's not just your original money that earns interest. It's your interest that starts earning its own interest. Your money literally starts making clones of itself, and then those clones start working for you too.
This quote from the source material just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about a slow, powerful explosion of wealth over time. It's the financial version of a snowball rolling down a really big hill. It just keeps getting bigger and faster all on its own.
Just look at this chart. In the first few years, the growth is kind of boring. It's slow, it's steady, you barely notice it. But then look what happens by year 10, and then look at year 30. The growth just goes vertical. It becomes exponential. This is how normal people with normal paychecks can build seven-figure wealth.
They didn't win the lottery. They just understood the math and gave compounding the one ingredient it needs to work its magic, time.
So you really have to ask yourself this question. Right now, in your financial life, who is collecting the interest? Are you the one paying it out on credit cards and loans, making it your worst enemy? Or are you the one earning it through investments, making it your best, hardest working employee who literally never takes a day off? Okay, so how do you put this amazing unpaid employee to work? By investing. This is where you completely flip the script. Instead of trading your time for money, you start trading your money for more money. Whether you're owning a tiny piece of a company with stocks or becoming a lender with bonds or owning physical property, every single one of these is a direct path out of the trap.
But investing isn't the only tool in the toolbox. The people who are really winning this game have figured out how to completely change the equation. They go way beyond just earning a paycheck. They've learned how to create and leverage massive value. And that is the final piece of the puzzle.
This is the key mindset shift you have to make. I mean, think about it. A doctor's hour is worth more than a cashier's hour, right? Not because they have more time in the day, but because society perceives the value they provide as being much, much higher. This flips the question from how can I work more hours to how can I increase the value of every single hour I work?
And value isn't always about what something is made of. A Gucci handbag is made from pretty similar materials as one you could get at Target, but it sells for what, 100 times the price? Why? Because Gucci has absolutely mastered perceived value. It's about the brand, the story, the feeling. When you can create that, you start to break the link between your income and your time.
And this is the ultimate goal: leverage. Steve Jobs didn't have any more hours in the day than you or me, but he helped create a product, the iPhone, one time. And that single creation provides value to millions and millions of people all at the same time. His income was totally decoupled from his personal time. That right there is leverage.
You know, so many people are afraid to invest because markets go up and down. They're terrified of losing money. But this quote highlights such a critical truth. By not investing, you are guaranteed to lose. Inflation will make sure that the money you've saved, whether it's in a shoebox or even in a bank account, becomes less and less valuable every single year. That's a guaranteed loss.
So, let's put it all together. Here it is. This is the escape plan we've been building this whole time. Number 1, start investing. Trade your money for more money. 2, focus on increasing the value you provide. 3, look for ways to build systems that leverage your time. And 4, maybe the most important, remember that consistency and time are your most powerful allies in all of this. At the end of the day, this isn't about some get-rich-quick scheme. It's about a fundamental shift in how you see money, how you see time, and how you see value. The strategies we've talked about, they're about playing the long game. Because as the slide says, real wealth isn't built in days, it's built in decades. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with yours?